Welcome to the Emporium Outdoors. My name's Michael, and today I have Lizzie with me and Esme, and we're heading off on a special trip to try and clear a trail that was blocked last winter when I was out hunting. So I bought the gas chainsaw today and a few other things, and there was a big log that would fall across this particular trail. I can't actually remember where the trail goes, but I knew I was trying to head in a particular way. I think it links up to somewhere that I know, but we'll figure it out. So like I say, I got the big saw with me, I've got the winch, and we'll see if we can clear that trail. We've got quite a ways to go before we can get to that part, so yeah, we probably better get started. There's little Lizzie. Come on, Lizzie. Lizzie. I think she's a little bit freaked out. We have been camping for a little while together. I think it was last year. But it's the first time in the Polaris, so she's learned how all that works. Esme's an old hand. She knows where to sit and when to get in and out, which is great. Lizzie, not so much yet. But we have it set up quite nicely for the dogs. What I've got is my camera bag. I've got my cooler underneath. I've got the new iPad holder, which is working out great. I do have two more cup holders down here as well, so didn't really lose too much. Just a blanket for them. So I think we should be all set to go. To be fair, I could have probably got out of this situation without using the winch. However, I had the dogs with me and the right wheel was lifting, so I didn't want to kind of jar them, so I took the easy option. The worst thing you can do to snap axles is to be in mud. You spin the wheels very quickly and suddenly they grab, and now you need new axles. Esme out. Hey, out. No, Esme, come. 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 Quickly, come. Come. Come out. Good girl. Oh, there she is. Lizzie, come see. Okay, so we got that out pretty easily. Biggest problem is trying to cut it so it doesn't pinch the saw when it drops. So I normally cut a wedge in the top. So yes, first size piece of wood. So now the way is clear, so we can. Oh, Esme, come on, I'll get you water. Don't drink that. That's nasty. So we can head on down the trail now, which is that way. And I think I know where it comes out, but we'll. Oh, what are you doing, Lizzie? She has this thing with mud. Elizabeth, what are you doing? Is it mud? Come on, let's go see. Well, we're kind of sunk to the axles here. It's not a good situation. Yeah. Don't know if this is going to be possible in summer. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Could probably get it through. I'm going to be doing a lot of winching. It's just very soft. this is ugly. Ugh. This is just pure mud. Well, that was fun, bit of a pointless exercise, but we got that log out of the way for when the freeze up comes later on. And I just like to keep the trails maintained so I know if there's any big obstacles. Probably means that there's going to be another tree that drops between now and winter. But that's the way it goes, at least that one's out of the way. I think we're going to head back because I can't follow that trail. If there was maybe like two of us, I'd do it, because then you can always pull the other person back. But when you're working alone, it's you can get ugly real quick. One snap winch line and you could be struggling, and that bog is hard work. So let's keep on heading down the trail. So I think we've arrived. We found a nice little spot right here, and I think this will work. Not too far from the last campsite I had, so I might go and steal that wood. Got the cot tent today, little Lizzie. I'm just going to clean up these branches so I can get my hammock in. These are all dead anyway, and these aren't looking too good, so I don't think it'll hurt the trees much. So we'll get that all cleaned up, and that should be about the right length for my hammock, I think. So I just want to show you this saw. This is something I made years ago. I do have a video on how I made it, but it's an old Silky Big Boy XL that I broke. So I made this handle, riveted it, and I really like it. It's a good grip. I find it much easier to use than the other one, and the blade is still pretty good. So yeah, I thought I'd dig that out. It's very handy for limbing stuff. Yeah, check out my video if you're interested in how I made this. Lizzie! Okay, we'll go find her in a second. So, clean this tree up pretty good. And this one is Pretty nice. Oh, there she is. Good girl. Why didn't you come when you were cold, monkey? And we probably have enough wood for tonight, actually. So that is also nice. So we'll stick the hammock up here. Maybe put the cot tent close by. So this is a cheap Amazon hammock. I think it's like a $30 hammock. They seem to last a couple of years and then the stitching tends to fail. But I just keep them up all year round. Typically in my yard. But these things, the Thermarest Slacker suspenders, straps, these by far have been the best hammock straps I've ever used. And I've tried, I think, every different type of hammock strap. I've even made my own whoopee slings, the whole thing. But these are just like the simplest and they work. They're a little bit heavier than the others. But sometimes you just need to get it done. And these work great. They don't slip or anything like that. Works wonderful. Well, that's nice. I need to get the cot tent set up and get the dogs settled. Time is, it's coming up to 3 o'clock, so we're actually a little bit early on our normal schedule. Dogs have their supper about 4 o'clock. So we should be good. Just got to keep an eye on Lizzie. There she is. Elizabeth. There's Esme. Did bring a little dog bed as well for them to sleep on. So that should be good. So I'm going to get the cot tent set up now. And yeah. And we should be almost done. So I've got my hammock to relax in, brought a small stool, Esme's dog bed, keeps her off the ground, and we've got the Vista 1. So very quick and easy to set up, and now we're ready to start relaxing. I really love this setup. I've used it on the last couple of videos, but at the moment with the ground being so kind of damp and wet, and having 2 dogs, having a cot tent is going to make my life so much easier. To sleep with 2 dogs in a hammock, you need a lot of cooperation from the dogs, and if they're moving around too much or they're wet especially, it can be pretty horrendous. So I'm glad we got this set up. We'll all squeeze into the cot tent, no problem. I've actually slept with 3 dogs in there when we had Simon, George and Esme, but now we just have the small corgi, Lizzie. Should be pretty straightforward. Esme might actually sleep on this cot outside anyway, we'll see. Okay, I think might think about getting the fire set up pretty soon. We're just going to go for a bit of a walk, see if we can find some birch bark. You gonna find some birch bark, Lizzie? Come on, Ez. Looks like a birch right there. Oh yeah. That'll work. What a beautiful day. I can't believe how lucky we are today. It's meant to be overcast, and it's actually beautiful. So I think we're going to get the fire going. Just going to have to be a little bit careful. We did have quite a lot of rain. There's no fire restrictions right now, but don't want to cause any problems either. So I think I'm just going to put it right here. I think we should be good. It's all contained in my fire pit anyway. So let's get it going. So today I brought out a slightly different knife with me. It's one of my favorites actually, but I really don't use it as much as I should. And this is the Benchmade Puko. Beautiful knife. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. It's just the right size. It's a nice weight, feels good. The grip's beautiful. It's a very powerful knife to use because you can choke up on it pretty good. I really should use this more. It's a very difficult steel to sharpen. That's why I don't really carry it out with me too much. Like, it holds an edge, but field sharpening can be laborious. So I tend to go with my Moira. Can't remember the name, but I'll put it up there. And that's kind of my go-to knife at the moment. It's a stainless steel. Pretty easy to sharpen. This one is a super steel, not so easy, but let's see if we can get a fire going anyway. So this is all that birch bark we just collected. This is my handy dandy pocket knife. This is the Leatherman 3T4, one of my favorite pocket knives. Not really a survival knife, but it's more kind of everything else around the house. So I'm just going to use the file. There we go. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on this fire. I don't want it to get out of its containment. Some of the grass might get a bit scorched, but underneath where I dug out is actually very wet. This is sphagnum moss, so it tells me it's actually really damp underneath there. But we'll just kind of monitor it and then kind of deal with it. Some of it might burn back, but as long as we keep an eye on it, I think we should be golden. And there's nothing that can catch fire above us. So just going to have to keep the fire small and nice and safe. So I'm looking forward to this blackened chicken. I put some Nashville hot chicken spice on it, so I think it's going to be good. I left it to cool down slightly on the rack, so it wouldn't be too hot. Oh yeah, oh that's good. Nice amount of spice. That is incredible. Wow. $8 for 4 chicken legs. It's $2 each. Bit of spice. Cheap meal, and it's incredible. So, gonna enjoy this. I can't feed this to the dogs, it's too spicy. But they've had a leg each anyway, so we're all fed up. So that's good. Okay, I'm gonna devour this and we'll be right back. So the time is about 6 o'clock. I think we're probably going to take a walk and take a look around, see if there's anything interesting going on. Very mindful to keep an eye on the fire, so I don't want to walk too far away. The conditions out here, even though there is no fire ban, is very dry. This grass is very dry. So we just have to be like super vigilant. Make sure I damp it down at night time, because I don't want to wake up to forest on fire. But we've had like 3 days of rain, so everything's wet, but this grass is like super dry. Got to be a little bit careful. Well, good morning everyone. We had a very comfortable night. Smooth's already gotten up. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Time for Lizzie to go and get some food. So we're all packed up, ready to go. I think the dogs are as keen to leave. Everything's tidied away. I'm going to leave this here dry out, and maybe I'll use it another time. Put the little patch back in. It'll do fine. This is a little hammock spot. I've now know where to go. You ready, Lizzie? Ready? Big stretch. Hesby's ready. You ready? Come on, Lizzie.
And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, leave me a comment, maybe a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.